Let's take a deep dive into how the Celtics frustrated Kevin Durant in their first round playoff series. In game one, Kevin Durant had 6 turnovers on 9 for 24 shooting, and he was 1 for 5 from three-point land. In game two, Durant had 6 turnovers once again on only 4 of 17 shooting and 1 for 2 from three-point land. Game 3 didn't get much better for Durant with 5 turnovers on 6 for 11 shooting and 2 for 3 from three-point range. The Celtics set the tone from the very first possession in this playoff series with Durant. We're going to see here Tatum starting out on Durant. Tatum has done a phenomenal job on Kevin Durant. In total, Tatum has matched up against Durant for about 27 minutes in the first 3 games, 120 possessions. He's allowed 10 points on 2 for 15 shooting by Durant, which is about 13.3%. Durant is 0 for 4 from three-point range. He has 10 turnovers. Tatum has 2 blocks, and there have been 2 shooting fouls. Tatum's numbers have been great on Durant, but he's not the only one doing the work defensively. Celtics players have stepped up on Durant in transition like Grant Williams does here. And Williams has done a great job on Durant defensively throughout the series. One of the keys has been the Celtics' ball screen defense, where they've soft hedged on Durant. The Celtics are typically a team that likes to switch in ball screen coverage, but here we're going to see Grant Williams trailing on Durant's hip to not allow him to pull up for one of his patented jump shots, and Al Horford soft hedging. We're also going to see the Celtics get players into the gaps a la pack line style, where they'll take away driving lanes from Durant and really work to shrink the floor. As we notice here, look at Williams do a great job contesting his shot, but you're going to see this triangle of Celtics players surrounding Durant every time he gets into the paint. This is going to be the difference maker for the Celtics in this series. Even when the Nets are not using ball screens, the Celtics are able to get up tight on Durant, take away any type of driving lanes with their players packed into the paint to shrink the floor. And these defenders that are on Durant are able to get really uptight on him to take away any type of jump shot. The Celtics are doing a great job as a team defensively, using all 5 players to take away one of the best players in the game in Kevin Durant. Durant continues to become more and more frustrated in the series as he turns the ball over at a very high rate, with each turnover leading to a scoring opportunity for the Celtics. Durant didn't turn the ball over at the end of game 1, but you can see the great job Tatum did forcing him into a tough shot. This missed shot would lead to Jason Tatum scoring the game winner against the Nets in the first game of the series. In game 2, the Celtics kept up the pressure and the physicality on Durant, even when he did not have the ball in ball screen coverage. You see here White doing a great job getting into the gap and forcing Durant to give up the basketball. The Celtics were swarming the entire game against Durant. And even when the Nets would try to go to a 1-4 low set here with Tatum on an island against Durant, the Celtics would force the action by bringing Williams up to double-team Durant, getting the other 3 players into the gaps in the paint, and really continuing to put pressure on Durant, even in situations at the end of the quarter. We'll see here that Grant's going to give up the basketball, and the Nets are eventually going to get blocked at the end of the quarter. This continued right to the end of the game when Durant had a perfect ISO opportunity and turned the ball over. Each time Durant's touching the basketball, it's important to note the Celtics have 4 players inside what will be considered the pack line, just inside the 3-point line to the top of the key area, and they're really shrinking the floor and taking away an opportunity for him to drive. They're taking this defender on the ball, and he's really hugging up on Durant tight to take away the pull-up, knowing that if Durant gets into the paint, he has 4 players who are all willing to help and then rotate back out. Credit to the Celtics for this defensive scheme against the Nets to hold down Kevin Durant and other all-star and possible Hall of Fame caliber players. One other thing I want to point out when Durant has the ball is, yes, the Celtics are soft hedging on ball screens, but they're also stunting at Durant into the gaps. We're going to see Marcus Smart do a great job here as Kyrie does not space the floor well. He's going to get into that gap and really take away space from Durant, forcing him into a tough off-balance shot, and a great job by Horford as well. The Celtics' recipe to defending Kevin Durant successfully in this series has been the soft hedge on ball screens. They have switched situationally depending on the matchups. They've been tight on the ball, knowing they have help behind from their pack line defenders. They're stunting into the gap when Durant is trying to drive into the paint, causing him to make mistakes with the basketball. They're in the pack line when he's at the top as much as possible, and they're doubling in 1-4 sets as we saw with Grant Williams. Great team defense. If you like this video, then hit that like button down below. Subscribe to get better basketball on YouTube. Turn on your notifications and drop me a comment down below to let me know what you think.